Hey guys, I'm about to share my screen with you to explain clearly how I help people continuously achieve 12 months progress in just 12 weeks. I know what you're thinking, sounds a bit clickbaity, but I'm going to share some testimonials with you. No fluff, I'm going to break down exactly what's involved. And some people come to me because they're entrepreneurs, they're business owners, or they're in a position of leadership where they're running a team and they have different goals. So quite often, sometimes it's to double their income within the 12 weeks. I'm going to share some examples of that. For other people, they've hit a dead end, they're tired of approaching life in the same way and their job in the same way, and they've just got lazy and they've got these lazy habits, they don't know how to break them, and they're in this continuous cycle and they feel stuck. So no fluff today, I'm not interested in that. I just want to be transparent, honest, share the information with you guys, and if it hits something, if you relate to it, then there'll be an opportunity for us to talk. Okay, let's jump in. All right, so let's break down the USDC method, which is what helps my clients achieve their 12 months progress in just 12 weeks. So what it stands for is urgency, self-discipline, and clarity. Because over the last 7 years, I've tried and tested on myself and the people that I've worked with, what are the things that are really missing from people's lives? What are the things that are really missing from their behavior and the way that they approach what they do? Is it that they don't have the information? Is it that they have the information, but they don't know how to implement it? What is missing? And what I found, what is really missing with people isn't necessarily that they don't know what to do, because let's face it, we're living in an age where we have abundant amounts of information out there. You can find the answer to pretty much anything that you want now using the internet. So it's not necessarily the information, it's not knowing how to implement the information, and it's not knowing or understanding our behavior. And the main thing that I found with business owners, people in leadership positions, what happens is they get caught up with being busy and they get into a routine of doing things in a very specific way, which in my experience is not the most efficient way at all. In fact, it's far from it. So let's jump in. So I'm going to come back to these at the end. So this is Arman. He doubled his monthly income and ended up buying his dad a Tesla. This is Matt. He was the first to bring in over $1 million into his property consultancy, which was unheard of at the time. Another Matt, he doubled his income also, and it continues to grow even though we stopped the coaching. Like I said, I'll come back to those. So just very, very quickly, I'm going to explain a little bit about my background. So I started with an obsession with basketball, wanted to make it to the professional level. Didn't quite get there, got to semi-professional. And then because I was obsessed with health and fitness, I thought, why not stay in that industry? So I got qualified as a personal trainer. And then I quickly realized that some of my clients were getting results and some of them were not getting results when they were following a program that was designed to help them get those results. So I quickly realized that there's something more going on here. Me shouting at them, trying the soft approach, I tried lots of different approaches, and it still wouldn't work with some of the people. So what I realized was there's something going on mentally here. And so I got qualified in neuro-linguistic programming as a practitioner and as an executive coach. And what that really helped me understand was that our identity, who we believe we are, so the story that we have, our personality, has a massive, massive impact on what we do and don't do. Our belief in ourselves to see things through, our belief in ourselves to be able to stick to things, causes and influences our decisions when it comes to changing our behavior. So this was absolutely huge. And then once I started getting results with my personal training clients, I realized that the skills that I built up by this point, going to lots of lectures, courses online, and just trying and testing on myself and on my personal training clients. And what I realized was these skills were transferable into any industry because our behavior impacts the results that we get, whatever industry we're in. So then I started working with different people in different industries, and I was trying to find something to get that buzz again, because I'd worked in the health and fitness industry for 15 years. And I'll be honest, I've kind of lost my love for it a little bit. It wasn't challenging me in the same way. So I wanted to move into the business area, the business sector. And so I started working with some entrepreneurs that I knew and some business owners, started getting good results with them, started tweaking some things, started getting better results. And then everything started to change when I started focusing on those three areas, helping people implement urgency, helping people work on their self-discipline to be consistent, and helping people gain crystal clear clarity on what they want, how to achieve it, and most importantly, who they need to become in order to not only achieve it, but to maintain it. So that's a breakdown of me quickly. I know I rushed through that, but most of the time people just want to know what is it that I'm doing with people to help them get these results? So we're going to jump into this. You can always message me and find out more information. I'm also going to put up a video on YouTube. When you're watching this, it might already be up there. My background, more detail about me. So the old way, so this is the usual way that business owners, or like I said, people in position of leadership, generally just a lot of men approach the day. So they start with hitting snooze. They start with a tired and a slow start to the day. So it's not exactly an energetic way to start the day, right? We start slow, and we usually start with the paper or whatever your morning routine is. You have some breakfast, listen to the radio, and then when you get to work, you start with a comfortable task. This is just the most common thing that I see when I'm working with people. They always start with the comfortable tasks first, which is usually emails, messages. If you've got staff, then it's talking to staff. Then next on the agenda is you get into a reactive state. And this is the difference between progress and stagnation. So reactive state is when you're just jumping from one problem to the other. They call it putting out fires. So a staff member will come to you and say, hey, we got this problem, or you'll hear back from a client and they'll say, we've got this problem, and you're just jumping straight into solving problems. So you're not in the driver's seat, you're in what I would call the passenger seat. You're reacting to the environment around you rather than you being in charge. Next is finally you get to do some work. Okay, so and like I said at the beginning, usually that work is comfortable, it's familiar, and what I call them is maintenance-based tasks. So even if you're working from a to-do list, which personally I know to-do lists do not work for many different reasons. I'm not going to go into all of them now, but one of the reasons is because the very thing that I'm talking about now is because quite often we just choose the most comfortable task on the to-do list. It's not even the one that's the top priority. So we go into maintenance-based tasks, and I call them maintenance-based because just because we're working, we feel like we're making progress, when all we're doing is we're just keeping the business in the same position, or we're keeping our responsibilities that we have within that company in the same position. So there's not really any real progress being made. All you're doing is staying afloat and keeping that current level of results and success coming in, which may be okay, but if you're watching this, I'm guessing you're not happy with that okay. So maintenance-based tasks, and after the maintenance-based tasks, you get to the end of the day, and the outcome is not enough, because if you're using a to-do list, or you're just not very well organized, you get to the end of the day, you look at the to-do list, or you look at all the things that you've not done, it doesn't exactly make you feel like you're in complete control, right? It makes you feel like, if you can see the symbol on the screen, exactly what's in that toilet. So you can use your imagination for that. So, and what this leads to is little or hardly any progress over a 12-month period. So this is what I help people do, what I call the new way. So you start with a morning routine, a personalized morning routine. Now, I'm sure you've heard lots of things about morning routines. Some people love them. Some people say they're a waste of time. You don't need them. From my experience of trying these things on myself, with and without morning routines, and not only that, because obviously I've got my own personality, I think and work in a specific way. So, that's not a very good example. You have to do it across a broad range of people. Every person I've worked with over the last 7 years has told me that the morning routine has had a dramatic impact on them achieving the results. So the morning routine is extremely important for a few reasons. It's to help you get energized. I'm going to explain later how everything is about energy and how energy influences how productive we are, what we do and don't do, the progress that we make, how we perform, how we communicate. It impacts everything. So the morning routine is specifically to get you in the right headspace, because let's face it, if you're running a business or you're in a position of leadership, it can quite often be stressful, you can have anxiety. So we need to prime ourselves for the day. We need to take control of the morning. If you don't control the morning, then you have no control of the day. If you control the morning, you have control of the day. That's basically the what's under the heart and soul of the morning routine. So it's to gain control of yourself mentally, put you in a good state, in a good mood. So emotionally, you're in a good place, and it's to energize you. Very, very important. Next, then, this is what I the routine that I help people coach people on. So the very first thing they do is they're not starting with emails or messages. They're not starting with a comfortable task. They're starting what I call a golden task. So a golden task is something that's going to help you create dramatic progress. Dramatic progress. So I help you and coach you through how to define what a golden task is, and if you can't find them, how to create a golden task. And what's amazing about this is if you have a team, you can teach your team on golden tasks and how to define them. And then all of a sudden you've got your team developing, creating, and achieving golden tasks as well. So not only are you as the leader achieving progress and dramatic progress, but also then you've got team doing the same thing. This is, absolutely like night and day, the difference in progress. So this is between 1 and 3. So generally when I first start with people, we start with 1 and it builds up to 3 golden tasks each day. Then we focus on systems to solve problems. So again, this is the difference between reacting to problems and constantly jumping from one problem to another, talking to staff all the time and allowing them to take up your time when you should be focused on something else. When you have systems in place, they take care of it. Either the systems are automatic or the system will just be training that you have in place for members of staff so that they know what to do when that reoccurring problem keeps popping up all the time. Then the next one is DDO. So this stands for delete, delegate, or outsource. So when you're looking at what you do, and again, this is what I coach people through. So we look at what you have in your schedule and we figure out, right, all these important tasks that you need to be doing, or again, are they just falling into what's familiar to you and what's comfortable? So that's why you enjoy doing them. It's not about enjoying what you do all the time. It's about optimizing what you do and becoming highly efficient at what you do. So then you have more spare time, then you can really enjoy what you do. So once we've gone through that, the difference with the end of the day, as I'm sure you can imagine, the outcome is progress and you finish the day on a high. Let's be honest, when was the last time you finished one of your working days feeling like I completely took control of today? I took no prisoners. I was on fire. I'm very, very happy with my performance. When was the last time you actually felt like that? So, and the difference here is following this every day, Monday to Friday, you can imagine the difference between these two. So you achieve 12 months progress in 12 weeks. That's what this approach will allow you to do. And it's the difference between starting with low energy of the day and high energy of the day. And like I said, energy impacts everything. You have to start the day with energy. If you start the day with low energy, what you're going to be susceptible to? You're going to be susceptible to distraction. You're going to be susceptible to what's easy and familiar. So that's why it's no surprise when you're not controlling the morning, what you're going to do. You're going to go straight into emails, messages, maybe just straight onto your phone. And then you get caught up with social media and wasting and all different types of distractions. And then the emails and the messages compared to the golden tasks, that's the difference between stagnation or fast progress. And then next, like I already mentioned this, the difference between being a passenger or being in the driver's seat. When you're in a passenger, you're in that reactive state all the time. When you're the driver, you're in complete control. And the maintenance tasks compared to the delete, delegate, or optimize, or outsource, this is the difference between just generally being a headless chicken, running around, looking like you're busy, and you convincing yourself that you're busy, but really you're just out of control. You have no control over the business. You have no control with pushing it forward and creating progress. And that's the difference between that approach or being highly efficient and effective. And the difference in the feeling at the end, and I'm talking a lot about feelings because everything we're working towards, whatever goal you have, whether it's the big house, whether it's the 1967 Ford Mustang, whatever it is that you're working towards, it's the feeling. Because when you think of those things, straight away it gives you a feeling, and that's the feeling that ultimately you're chasing. So it's the difference between feeling defeated at the end of the day and feeling defeated and deflated at the end of the year when you're looking at what you've achieved or lack of achieved and lack of progress, and feeling like a winner. That is the difference. Winners are in control. Winners are achieving. Winners are making progress. So I want to share something to give you a bit more quantifiable numbers now so that you can, if that's not clear enough what I've just gone through, this should make it clear. So generally, and this has been very, very generous, right? Let's say that each person watching this now, and in my experience again over the last 7 years, when I asked them what they do and asked for examples, clear examples of what they do on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, what I found is they're doing one golden task each week. And if I'm honest, it's between 0 and 3 golden tasks each month. That's it. So, but let's be generous and say it's one each week. So 3 months, which is the 12 weeks, 3-month program that I run. So let's say it's 12 golden tasks achieved. Usually, this is the usual approach. So over the course of 12 months, it's 48 important tasks. And the reason I'm not calling them golden tasks is because there's a huge difference between a golden task and just your top priority on your to-do list, because it's not been broken down into how efficient is it, how effective is it, and is it even the right task that I should be focused on as the leader, as the person in charge. So that's why I'm calling them important and not golden. So let's look at the difference between what I help people do and what the usual approach is. So the usual approach is 1 important task per week. I help people build up to 3 golden tasks each day. 3. So they do them first thing in the morning. That's the golden task. So let's say you built up to that. So it's 15 per week. So I don't know if you've just noticed what's happened here right now. So the usual approach, it takes 3 months to achieve 12. In 1 week, you've already beaten what you would usually achieve in 3 months, in 1 week. So in 3 months, which is the 12 weeks, it's 180 golden tasks. Now let's say it doesn't go perfectly and you don't get those 3 each day, which does happen with I'll be honest, I'll be completely transparent. It doesn't happen with everybody that I work with. They don't get those 3 golden tasks every day. Let's say that's half. Even if you half it, look at the difference between the 2. It's massive. And this is how I'm able to help people achieve 12 months progress in just 12 weeks. And over the course, going my way, using my method, over the course of 12 months, it's 720 golden tasks. Again, even if you slice that in half, it's a monumental difference compared to the usual approach. So let's go into Arman. I said I would share a little bit about his story. So he was running a YouTube business. I say was because he just sold it to a record company in LA. Very cool. Very, very happy for him. He's worked his ass off. He deserves it. And Arman came to me and he was frustrated because he was just stuck in a routine. He already had high level of success, was already bringing in a lot of money. I'll be honest, he was. And but he said to me, I'm stuck in this routine. I want to switch things up. My gym routine's not very good. I'm neglecting everything about myself. So he wanted me to completely shake up his routine, and we set a big goal of doubling his income. So by the end of the 12 weeks, he doubled his monthly income. Now, I'm not going to say how much it was, but it was a ridiculous amount of money. And he got into fantastic shape physically. He was doing it. I'm not going to go into all the areas because obviously a lot of it is private, but it impacted all areas of his life, and he felt very, very good. It improved his confidence. He said even the way he walked around, it changed his body language, how he communicated with people, because this is what happens when we're achieving. All men, all of us want the hero's journey, and the hero's journey is to have an obstacle, a big obstacle that we've never got past before, and then we have to learn a skill, or we have to change our behavior to overcome that obstacle. And once we overcome the obstacle, we win. That's what all men want, because that's what makes us feel like we're growing as people, feel like we're progressing, and it gives us something to focus on. So that's what Arman achieved. And he bought his dad a Tesla. Absolutely amazing. So Matt works as a property investment consultant, and Matt, we'd been working together, and I said to him, okay, what's a ridiculous goal? And we threw some ideas backwards and forwards, and I said to him, how do you feel about bringing in $1 million? And he looked at me, started laughing, and he said, listen, I will go all into anything that we set up. Absolutely amazing attitude. Loved working with Matt. And he said, listen, I'll go all in with anything that we set as a goal. I'm all in with it. But he said to me in his own words, but that is very, very difficult. It's a huge goal. By the end of the 12 weeks, Matt had achieved that. He ended up buying the house of his dreams for his wife and kids. And he actually ended up getting a promotion as well. So another Matt, once again, so Matt owned a plumbing and electrician company. So I don't know if you're noticing here, but all these people are in completely different industries, completely different. So that's why I'm confident now that this method that I built, the USDC method, can work in any industry because it's all about human behavior. I don't have to know anything about the industry. Nothing. All I have to know is, what is your goal? Okay, well, let's break it down. Right, let's look at what you need to change. Let's put a plan in place. Okay, let's look at your behavior. Let's look at your self-discipline. Are you being consistent? Okay, are you doing what you said you were going to do? And that's when a coach like me becomes very valuable, because I'm holding you accountable. I'm giving you that support, and I'm helping you solve the problems that have stopped you up to this point from achieving it yourself. This is the value of finding the right coach for you. So Matt doubled his monthly income again, another person again, and it continues to grow even though we stopped working together. Okay, guys, no hard sales pitch at the end. It really just comes down to one simple thing. Just how serious are you? Because that's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for people that just want a little bit of information. Not looking for people that just want to listen to what it's about. I'm looking for people that are serious about changing their current circumstances. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for people that are tired. I'm looking for people that really resonate what we've already been through. They feel like they're stuck in a routine and they're struggling to get out of it. So if you're a business owner, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're in a position of leadership where you're running a team, then click on the link in the description, book in a time, and let's chat further.